ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely, following backlash over remarks the comedian made regarding the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The decision has sparked a national debate over free speech, media regulation, and political influence. What happened? During his monologue on September 15th, Jimmy Kimmel mocked the reaction of President Donald Trump and his allies to Charlie Kirk's death, suggesting that MAGA-aligned figures were trying to distance themselves from the shooter in order to score political points. He also criticized the manner in which Trump mourned. In response, Nexstar Media Group, which owns 32 ABC-affiliated local stations, announced it would stop airing Jimmy Kimmel Live on its stations for the foreseeable future, calling Kimmel's comments offensive and insensitive. Sinclair Broadcast Group joined Nexstar in halting broadcast of the show on its ABC affiliates unless Kimmel apologizes. On September 17th, ABC, owned by Disney, officially suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely. The regulatory pressure. The action came after FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, a Trump appointee, publicly criticized the show's content and urged broadcasters to stop airing it. He suggested that ABC/Disney could face regulatory consequences, including possible license revocation for local stations, if they failed to address the matter. Carr described Kimmel's remarks as a very, very serious issue and said broadcasters, especially those with FCC licenses, have obligations to act in the public interest. Reactions. President Trump praised ABC's decision, calling Kimmel ratings challenge and not a talented person, while also urging NBC to cancel its late-night host Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers. FCC Commissioner Ana Gomez, the only Democratic commissioner on the FCC, strongly criticized the move. She argued that threatening license revocations over speech that is politically inconvenient poses a danger to First Amendment protections. Writers and actors unions, media free speech advocates, and prominent Democratic figures also expressed concern, saying suspension represents a troubling precedent for censorship and political pressure on media. Broader implications. This episode sits at the crossroads of several long-standing tensions in U.S. media. Free speech versus political speech boundaries. Where's the line between satirical or critical commentary and statements that draw regulatory backlash? How much constraint should broadcasters put on speech in the name of public interest? Regulatory leverage. The FCC's role here is under scrutiny. Some see the regulatory threats as necessary checks on content. Others view them as potential tools for suppression of dissent, media consolidation, and corporate risk. Stations and networks often depend on federal licensing and regulatory goodwill. When large station groups like Nexstar, Sinclair, and parents Disney/ABC face pressure, decisions may be driven not only by content but also business risk and regulatory exposure. The state of late-night television. This is another sign of how late-night hosts critical of political leaders may face escalating consequences, whether through cancellations, regulatory pressure, or corporate decisions. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert was canceled earlier for what the network said were financial reasons, but critics saw political motivations. What's next? It's uncertain whether Jimmy Kimmel Live will ever return to ABC's primetime lineup, or if it will come back under modified terms. Disney/ABC have not clarified the conditions for its return. The FCC may take formal action or investigations, particularly into whether the show or its parent company violated public interest broadcast obligations. There may be further fallout if other hosts or networks are pressured to alter content or be taken off air under similar threats. The precedent set here could influence how political speech is handled on broadcast television in the U.S. The suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live underscores a growing friction between political power, regulatory bodies, and the media. It's emblematic of a broader struggle over who sets the boundaries of permissible speech and how much dissent or satire is allowed in public broadcasting when it draws the ire of those in power. For many observers, this moment is a red flag. Free expression in journalism and entertainment may be at a vulnerable point. Please subscribe, comment, and like for more news.